Yes, the London 2012 Olympics just wound down, and it's no news now that we got no medal. What a showing at that Olympics. It seems like a downward slide from way back. I mean, most famous in your memory, perhaps Atlanta 96. But thereafter, what's happened? Well, that's what we'll focus on this time, and we're joined now by George Aluo, who is a roving sports editor of the Sun newspapers. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure, Chamberlain.
As sad as it is, well, you were even at the games now, and perhaps were you surprised that we got no medals first?
How do I put it, Chamberlain? Not really surprised, not really.
Okay.
But I felt that give and take, Nigeria will be able to manage, let me use the word manage, to scramble one or two medals here and there. And my projection as somebody who is a sports writer, as somebody who follows sports as a stakeholder, was that given the Nigerian fighting spirit, and we would be able to win one or two medals. Realistically, I thought that we'll win medals from 3 sports, realistically. And those sports were, one, in athletics, talking about Blessing Okagbare, not even the 100 meters, but I thought that she would be able to win a medal, not really maybe gold, but silver or bronze in the long jump event. Then, realistically, I felt that we win a medal in weightlifting, where Miriam Usman was competing in the 75 kg, against the backdrop of her performance at the World Championship in France just last year, where she won a bronze. And the same quality of opposition you have at the World Championship is what you're going to have at the Olympics. So I felt that if she replicates that performance that she did in France, we will be able to win maybe a bronze medal in weightlifting.
So, and then, what's the third
and then the third one is in Taekwondo, where we have Chika Chukwumerije, who won a bronze in Beijing. And I thought, against the backdrop of his excellent preparations ahead of the games, that he will be able to give us a medal. Because if you look at Chika Chukwumerije, Nigerian athletes on the whole may not have prepared very well, but as a person, I think he got the best of preparations. Not from the state, but from the father.
That was the next thing I was going to ask, because how did these athletes who you expected perhaps may manage to win a medal, how did they prepare? And by who sponsored them?
Yes, I'm not coming to that. So I said, ordinarily, I expected that we'll win maybe 2-3 medals. And I've given you areas where I was really expecting these medals. But generally, talking as a nation, I wasn't expecting a medal. Because our preparation, to say the least, has not been the best. So if you look at it holistically, I would say that we got what we deserved. Nigeria as a nation got what it deserved from the Olympics. How do I mean? We as a nation, if you look at Chika Chukwumerije, for instance, that I've said, in isolation, the father did a whole lot of preparations for him because he has the money, Senator Chukwumerije, and he had that passion. He wanted his son to do it. Then if you look at Blessing Okagbare, for instance, she was being coached by one of the best coaches in the world, the same coach that was handling the Jamaican girl that eventually won gold. And she has a whole lot of endorsements and sponsorship there in the United States. So I thought that these athletes would have been able to give us 1 or 2 medals that we'll begin to celebrate. But holistically, as a nation, we have not invested enough in sports as to deserve Olympic medals. We have not prepared well enough. We are not putting money into sports the way we should put. Our athletes are not getting the best of welfare package. Our facilities at home are in shambolic state. So how do you now win medals, Chamberlain? It is a mission impossible. And there is no magic to win all Olympic gold medals. We could do well, you understand, at the All-African Games level, do well at the Commonwealth Games level, against the backdrop of the kind of talents that we have. Nigeria is a country that is very, very rich in talent.
Give us a comparison. Even the Atlanta 96, well...
Yeah, our best Olympics so far.
That was the best so far.
Yes, when we won 2 gold medals.
How was the training?
If you look at that, if you look at what happened in Atlanta 96, that we're celebrating our best Olympics, it had to do with the kind of talents that we had. The football team won Olympic gold medals, if you remember, the Dream Team. And that Dream Team was a bunch of talented athletes, footballers, the best generation, one of the best generation of footballers that we have ever had. So we won it.
Parliament. Let's get to this. We'll come back to this point which you raised. Now, Blessing Okagbare, well, she put up an impressive showing in the heat, but when it got to the finals, I mean, it showed that her slow start, she just couldn't recover to get a medal at the end of the day. But the thing is, we keep forgetting the fact that the stakes are always higher all the time. So if we thought that we could rely on just those talented ones who we have, even after the France World Championship, these guys went back and trained the other athletes. But we come back here, what do we do?
And if we look at it, like I said, Blessing Okagbare that we were expecting medal from, I was personally expecting a medal from Blessing, but definitely not in the 100 meters. Blessing Okagbare
in the long jump?
In the long jump. Blessing Okagbare she was running sub 11 ahead of the Olympics, but her personal best was 10.92. And if you look at that pack, 10.92 couldn't have given us a medal, even if she ran that in the finals. But unfortunately, in the finals, she ran 11.01.
Wow.
And 10.92 was her personal best performance. So for Blessing, when she got into the finals of the 100 meters, I thought that maybe she could just spring one of those surprises and get a medal. It was possible. It wasn't totally out of place. But her slow start gave her in that final. And there was so much pressure on this girl. It's like putting all your eggs in one basket. You understand me? And
pressure,
that comes with a lot of pressure.
Did the pressure come on the part of Nigerians?
Yes, and immediately after that 100 meters loss, she just couldn't get any other thing right. At the end of the day, she did a jump that didn't even give her a place in the final of the long jump.
Can we blame them, the athletes now?
You wouldn't blame the athletes, like I said. You would blame the state. You won't blame the athletes. What do I mean? Like I said, we got what we deserve from the Olympics. Everybody is now blaming us that we didn't do well at the Olympics. But let me tell you, sports is even the only area where Nigeria is competing. I can say that anywhere. Sports is the only area where you rank Nigeria among the first 10 in the world. Blessing Okagbare is the number 8 fastest woman in the world today, isn't it? With her 8th position finish in the 100 meters final. In the 4x400, we are number 6 in the world. In the 4x400, we are number 5 in the world. In weightlifting, we are number 8 in the world with Felix Ekpo's lift. Javelin, which other area will you rate Nigeria first 10? I've been home in the last 2 days. I've never had light in my hospital road apartment in Olodi Apapa. I've not had light for 1 hour.
Even though some say
power holding
they've got some
company.
improvements.
As I speak with you now, in the last 48 hours that I've been in this country,
they're holding your power.
They've held on to power. I've used generator, and I know how much my wife spent on fuel alone for the 17 days that I was away during the Olympics. So are we competing in the area of electricity? The answer is no. Are we competing in the area of road? Are we competing in the area of water? In the health sector, we are not competing. So it's even in sports that we are competing, even with little or no investment that will give. I'll give you an example. Jenica Ennis, the face of the Olympics for Britain, the Holiday Inn where the Nigerian officials stayed, they were celebrating Jenica Ennis as part of their Employ an Athlete program.
Who? The Nigerian?
No, the British,
the British
people.
government.
Yes. Jenica Ennis is part of the Employ an Athlete program of Holiday Inn. You understand? So they employ this athlete as part of their Employ an Athlete program ahead of the Olympics. How many corporate bodies in Nigeria has one Nigerian under its payroll?